your credit, and everyone is approved. Give yourself the gift of vision now. Schedule your free consultation, and we'll tell you about LASIK of Nevada's no credit check financing, because everyone deserves the gift of vision. Go to
Artemis 2 splashes down successfully. Very cool to see that. Historic, man. I mean, look, United States of America, we're badasses. What do you expect? Why do you think we decimated Iran? No matter what the leftist media wants to tell you. And this is why this historic return from space was such a made with such precision. Badass. I hope the youth are watching this so they can see that we're America. I'd like to see Russia do that. I'd like to see China do that. I'd like to see Iran do that. I'd like to see any freaking country do what we do. We're going to talk about that tonight on the show and more. Of course, take your calls. Lots to cover. We're glad you're with us. We're going to be going live on radio here in about less than a minute, so you'll be able to hang out with us, and then I'll be back at break to talk to you. Dr. Bruce Fong. Give them a try. Order Man's Edge right now for your low T and get a free bottle of IGF-1 for men or women to help with the anti-aging process we all deal with. Over 10 million bottles sold and 25 plus years in business. You should feel as comfortable as I do for your optimal health. Visit and order today at neutronics.com/Sanchez. That's neutronics.com/Sanchez.
Stories of hope.
I'm very hopeful. We're all going to stay united.
Ordinary families, hardworking Americans would pay less.
Stories of optimism.
There's a lot of good things in here.
Good stories.
This is good. A good story for everybody.
This is a good day for America.
On KDON.
I'm going down the rabbit hole.
It's time to dive deeper.
It's happening again.
They want to keep us divided so we don't realize they're chipping away at our freedoms.
And we really thought through the cause and effect of our choices.
Tonight, one man will hold back the tide of sinister forces that threaten this great nation.
This isn't about politics. It's about truth in a culture built on noise. Can I get an amen?
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Yes, we can. Broadcasting live from Las Vegas. Independent, unapologetic, and unfiltered. Steve Sanchez.
Thank you, Greg Eringer. Steve Sanchez hanging out. Glad to be here. If you're joining us on the Odyssey, iHeartMedia, TuneIn apps, or on the socials live, we're glad you're with us. We've got Dodgers ball, but we're still playing ball tonight for the next 2 hours live here on our platform. So we're glad that you're hanging with us. I just want to start. It's Friday, and I've got to start by saying this. America, we're badasses. I mean, we're badasses in America. Did you see the Artemis 2 splash down with this precise, historic return from space? I'd like to see Russia do this. I'd like to see China or Israel or Syria or England or France or Spain or Italy or Australia or Iran. I think we got the point. Because nobody, and I mean nobody, does it like America. My understanding is that we're going to be landing on the moon in 2028 once again. No. I'm not going to go down, producer Nate. I'm not going to go down into this whole other subject. If you know that you love to bring up every time I talk about the moon or the moon landing. No, I'm not going to go into did we land there or not. I'm not. Yes, we landed on the moon. Look, I was born in 69. I'm 56. I'm a Gen Xer, and I think everybody that knows something about something knows we absolutely landed on the moon. Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. We landed on the moon. And we're going back in 2028. Now, some will say we never landed on the moon. It was a fake. It was in Hollywood said. It was this. Nonsense. When you have concrete evidence and not conspiratorial theory, then maybe I'd entertain visiting with you on it over a cup of coffee. But until then, no, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. So sorry, producer Nate, I'm not going down that road. And in 2028, before President Trump leaves office, we will go to the moon once again. They're prepping for that mission as we speak. Some will say, well, it's the first time, Steve Sanchez. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to argue. Not going to argue. I'll tell you something. Our military's badass too. It's not just Space Force. It's just not NASA. It's not just, our space program. America's just badass across the board. We're going to be 250 years old in July. And I've got some advice to give everybody listening and watching. Get it together and start supporting this administration and this president, and let's get united behind this president, behind our military. We've got a job to do in Iran. Stop trying to poke holes in everything, and let's start celebrating America once again and have some freaking patriotism once again in this country, for God's sakes. I'm tired of seeing the Mexican flags being flown everywhere. I'm tired of seeing Palestinian flags. There's nothing like Old Glory, baby. Right there. Nothing like Old Glory. Military's pretty badass, too. According to the CENTCOM chief, Iran has suffered this generational military defeat. We crushed them in 40 days. It took 40 years for them to build up this military that they said they had. We crushed them in under 40 days. Our military's badass. Let's be real. Our commander-in-chief's badass too. Let's be real. Let's be real. And even when I have someone in office, in the Oval Office, that I didn't vote for and I don't like, anytime we're in a military engagement, I'm going to say the commander-in-chief's a badass. You want me to tell you why? Because I'm America, baby. That's why. I'm America. I don't play this game. Because I respect the office and the role more than I do anybody that sits in the seat behind the Resolute desk. That's why. Why does the media, though, carry the water for Iran, right? Even Senator Fetterman said, and he's at it. I mean, look, the mainstream media, the legacy media, is carrying the water for Iran. What traitors? What treasonous slobs? I mean, let's just be real. Treasonous slobs. Carrying the water for Iran against your own country. I don't get it. I'll tell you what it is. I have this theory. It's my theory, but it's a theory that when we were in the Revolutionary War, there was something called the Loyalists. And they were people that were here that were, part of the colonies that didn't want to break away from Britain. They wanted to still kind of be these colonies and not be a separate country and still be under the king and under England. And they were rats. Rats. They were rats. And they used to go and rat on those that were at the pub talking about how we can build this country or have this new country and be totally separated from the king and have our own government that the people would run. That's the way I view the mainstream media and many of the Democrats today that are the globalists. It's just another fancy word for the loyalists. They are the people. It's in their DNA. I don't even think they know it. It's in their DNA. It's in their blood. These are the people that were somehow descendants or a spiritual descendant of the loyalists of back in the day, because they would rather us be part of England. That's why they're so infatuated over King Charles, and they were so infatuated over Princess Di and the royals. Who gives a crap about the royals? This is America. But that's who these people are. They're part of the loyalists, and they don't even know it, because everything that America does, they don't like. America's racist, America's a bigot, America's homophobic, America's misogynist, America's colonialism, right? This is what you hear over and over and over. And you would think you would have the mainstream media just celebrating this historic return of the Artemis II. You would think. Instead, they were more willing to celebrate Katy Perry, now an astronaut going to space. Give me a freaking break. Put the freaking crack pipe down. Do you really believe Katy Perry and all those freaking critters went up into space in that tin can? Okay, with nice hairspray in their hair and full up makeup and lipstick, and they didn't have to wear any. Give me a break. But yet that was celebrated. Katie, how does it feel? Look, Katie, how does it feel being an astronaut? It feels so wonderful, and I kissed a girl, and I liked it. Oh, bye! Freaking nutty. Nutty is a fruitcake. Phone lines are open if you want to be part of the program. 702-257-5396. Those watching on the socials, you can join us as well. You can call us live. Those listening on all our streaming platforms, Odyssey, iHeartMedia, TuneIn apps, and even the SteveSanchezShow.com. You can call us as well. We're live, 702-257-5396. How do you feel about the Artemis 2 splashing down? Pretty cool, right? Yes, we are cool. America is cool, baby. That's why we had, let's say, Marlon Brando and you know, these people of the 50s, Frankie Valli, and we were cool. We've always been cool. Give me a break. Give me a break. Who's the other one that was real cool? He died. Young guy, producer Nate, kind of like a Fonzie back in the day. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
Okay. I'll have to think about it here in a minute. It just something Dean. Dean something. What is it?
James Dean?
James Dean. James Dean, baby. Yeah, we're cool. What other country had cool like that? No other country. Hell, we're a country that had Cheech and Chong, baby. Give me a break. All right, the attorneys on retainer, the sponsors of this half hour, had Andy Marcantel on last night, one of the criminal defense attorneys and partners of the attorneys on retainer. We talked about self-defense and Second Amendment and why it's important to have a membership to cover you in the event that you're put in a self-defense situation. The attorneys on retainer got you covered. Why? Because it's a membership that costs $1 a day. That's it. So that if anything ever went down and you had to utilize your gun to protect yourself and you get arrested, you got an attorney locally that is assigned to you locally for no more than $1 a day, $30 a month. That's the membership. You can visit attorneysonretainer.us/Sanchez right now. I encourage you to do that. Those listening on radio, those watching on the socials, attorneysonretainer.us/Sanchez. Become a member today immediately. When you go there, it's a $25 off sign-up fee automatically. That's the beauty of AI. Calculates it automatically. And you're only spending $1 a day. Do not wait. This is so important. We got a tyrannical government and we got anarchists, and you need to protect yourself. Go do that. And if you're watching on the socials, links in the bio. Check that out. All right, quick break in front of us. When we come back, we got a lot more to cover. We'll start taking some of your calls. Again, phone lines are open, 702-257-5396. I'm Steve Sanchez. We'll be right back.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere.
All right, cool. We encourage our social media watching audience, as we're live on radio, to call on the show. We're at break right now, commercial break, as you can hear. We want you to pay attention to those advertisers and sponsors as well. They keep us, on the air, but we want you to call as well. We're discussing the Artemis. It landed today, historic return from deep space. I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty badass. We're America, baby. We're badass. But it goes back to the conversation of the moon landing. Did we land on the moon? Producer Nate's saying, no, we didn't land on the moon. He's a millennial. What does he know? I'm a Gen Xer. And I will tell you this. There's no doubt in my mind we landed on the moon. And we're going back in 2028. That's the key. And that's going to be cool. And a whole new generation is going to get really involved in all that. I am all about space exploration. No, I don't believe there's aliens, but I think it's very cool. I think that we've got to stay on the forefront of technology as a country because we don't want China, Russia, any of those to try to lead. We are the leaders. And guess what? This is why they're so jealous. Want me to tell you why other countries are jealous of us? I'm sorry, it's just true. Because we're only 250 years old. Remember that. And in 250 short years, we just are freaking Billy Badasses. Let's be real. From A to Z. You know it and I know it. Even if you don't know it, you need to know it. All right. I got to get back to my notes. We're going to be coming back to break in about 2 minutes? About 2 minutes back on radio. I see the calls on hold. Call us. Weigh in. 702-257-5396. Producer Nate just dropped the phone number in the comments. Give us a call. Share your thoughts with us. We'll be right back.
Entire Las Vegas area. They have helped many families right here in your area turn complicated situations into solutions. Put the most experience and the best marketing to work for you. An immediate cash offer is not your only option. The Brancus team can provide a list of options and have a plan before your home is even on the market. They can also tell you what your home is worth in seconds right online when you go to thebrancusteam.com. Now find them online at thebrancusteam.com. That's BRENKUS team.com.
License number BS 16186. Call for details.
I used to work for the insurance companies. I saw their delays, excuses, and lowball offers. Every time someone got hurt, I realized this system wasn't built for you. It never will be. So now I fight for the injured, for the people the system tries to ignore, for those the insurance companies hope will take whatever they're offered. At Sam & Ash, we make sure you get what you actually deserve. Call Sam & Ash Injury Law at 702-820-1234. Injury lawyers who win.
I've protected accident victims while flashy lawyers stack easy money and bullshit awards. I started a law firm that sets a new standard. At Sam & Ash Injury Law, we go to war against insurance companies to get you what's right. We protect you from greedy corporations and their careless clients. We force them to pay for what they've done. If you've been injured, visit samandashlaw.com. We fight, you win.
Do you have fatigue from seeing all the so-called social media experts have an answer to your questions? Well, my friend Guy Nora has answers. He's got a common sense first agenda that can help you if you're struggling in your finances, your personal relationships, or your health. Former 2022 gubernatorial candidate right here in the state of Nevada and a successful venture capitalist and philanthropist, not to mention radio and TV show contributor, he has answers. Visit him on his socials at The Real Guy Nora for new content dropped daily.
1015 FM KDON.
You're listening to Steve Sanchez. Phone lines are open. Call him now at 702-257-5396.
All right, welcome back. Steve Sanchez hanging out with you. Phone lines are open if you'd like to join me, 702-257-5396. We're talking about the Artemis II splashdown. I watched it real time. America, pat yourself on the back. We're just the badasses of the world, period, and everything we do. I'm sorry. We love you. We're friends with our neighbors, but we're just badasses. Badasses when it comes to space exploration. Badasses when it comes to our military. That's why we were able to decimate Iran in under 40 days. And yes, they are decimated. Don't let anyone tell you different. All right, let's go ahead and get started, get down to business. First up this evening, joining us is David. David, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. What's on your mind?
I'll talk about the Artemis II, right? I mean,
absolutely.
How great is it not to feel?
Love it.
You know, I feel red, white, and blue all over.
Absolutely.
It's just amazing what they achieved.
Absolutely. You know what I feel, David? I feel for just a little while, it united us just for a little while. Everybody watching the tube, we're watching it. I think just for a while, we weren't Republicans or Democrats or independents. We were just Americans, which is very cool.
Absolutely. And that's the way it should always be, no matter what.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just, we should all come together, you know, as one, and that's what we are. We're Americans. That's it, plain and simple. There's no race, no color, no nothing to divide us. It's just simple one word, American, and that's it.
Absolutely. So let me ask you a question. Do you think that we went to the moon? I mean, we're supposed to go back in 28. I know there's always a lot of skepticism that, we never went to the moon. And yeah, we did go to the moon. And so there's this whole field of thought out there. I know that President Trump and NASA have committed to go back to the moon in 28. What are your thoughts? Just out of curiosity.
I think that's amazing. I know that we did go to the moon before, I'm a former Air Force veteran. Well, not former, but current Air Force veteran. So just the history that was taught while I was in the Air Force.
Yeah.
I think the people that don't think that we went to the moon are the same people who think the world is flat.
Yeah, so, that's a good point. I like that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, no, absolutely. Yeah, it's, look, there's just so much evidence that substantiates it. And a lot of the conspiratorial things out there are just that. They sound good. And that's the great thing, David, about conspiracies. They sound great. They sound sexy. They sound real, but you never have evidence behind it. It's always this assumption. And I just don't do business on assumptions.
Correct. That's what the media gets all their stories from, right? It's all assumptions of whatever's going to get them the story and make them front page they want to be number one search on the internet. So
right.
That's why all these stories come out.
Absolutely.
But I'm glad we're going back in 28, and I'm excited. I was born in 72. I'll be 54 this year, so getting a little bit older. But I think that it'd be nice to see them build a moon base and see where we can go from there.
Absolutely. Oh, you're a fellow Gen Xer. I was born in 69. So we're from that Gen X revolution, and nobody understands Gen X unless you lived it, right?
That's right. Absolutely. I was fortunate enough. I live out here in California. I got to see the shuttle land at Edwards one time.
Yeah.
And, just watching it, like you said, I can't help but be more American anyway. My last name is America.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Absolutely love it. Well, you know what? We're glad you called. Make sure you hang out with us again down the road. And we do appreciate your service to the country. I'm grateful.
I appreciate it. I just want to say one more thing real quick if I can.
Absolutely.
Please, I know I'm in California, but go out and vote for Bobby Kahn. He's great. He's not the norm politician, and everybody get out there and vote for Bobby Kahn.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Amen to that. David, I appreciate it. Yeah, I agree. Bobby Kahn, he's definitely a brother, and there's no doubt he is the best candidate for District 1 in Southern Nevada. No question. Bobby Kahn. Bobby Kahn for Congress. Go check him out.
And by the way, I do think the Earth is round.
You do. You just don't think anybody went to the moon.
No, I'm like I said before.
You're a skeptic.
I'm a
skeptic. There's a little bit of
skepticism. There's a little bit just because of the conspiracy theories. You're like, wow, that sounds legit.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I will say yes, we've been there just because of my patriotism.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, if there's some concrete evidence that substantiates,
right?
Fine.
I'll always hear someone out.
Yeah, I'll listen. But as where I stand as a 56-year-old man, we went to the moon. Our military, our Space Force, our country is badass. Nobody's better. Sorry, I will scream that at the top of the tallest building. I'll go right now to the stratosphere and scream that. Absolutely. And we will be going back in 2028. And I'm looking forward to having young people see that accomplishment and extracting the NASA crew safely from the Artemis 2 landing real time is just very cool. I'm just proud of the country. Do we always get it right? No, get it right a lot, though. This is why we're the envy of the world. Aren't we the envy of the world? We're the envy of the world. Absolutely. All right, phone lines are open. If you'd like to be part of the program, 702-257-5396 is how you join the conversation. 702-257-5396. We're going to have to speak a little bit about Iran when we come back. And this new poll that came out regarding young people and their support for Israel was quite shocking to me. Very shocking, in fact, because I think what is happening is young people, especially the Gen Z generation, are not getting the true scoop. They're not. We're inundated with all the social media stuff and technology, and I get it, and it's great, and I love it. But I think, unfortunately, Gen Z is not getting truth. They are getting myth, and they are getting assumption and opinion from very radical lefties these days, because let's just be real. The whole education system has been hijacked by radical lefties. Not saying that there's not conservatives that are in the educational system and good teachers that are conservative in the educational system. There are, but you have to be intellectually honest here. Okay, you have to be intellectually honest. The education system has been hijacked by the goofball lefties. You know it and I know it. And most of the young teachers today that are lefties, liberal, they're activists. They'll be the first to tell you. Their job is not to teach math and reading and science and history. Their job is to promote a very progressive agenda about trans this and trans that and racist this. And let's be real. Let's look at the SAT scores today versus 30, 40, 50 years ago. Something shifted. Just saying. All right, lots to cover when we come back. Again, phone lines are open if you want to be part of the conversation. 702-257-5396. When we get back, we're going to talk a little bit more about Iran. We've got to go down that road, of course. And then we'll talk about this poll regarding young people and their support for Israel. I'm Steve Sanchez. We'll be right back. in today's volatile market. All right, cool. Appreciate everybody hanging out, especially on a Friday. I know you got things that you're doing, but, let's be real. It's cool to hang out with us here. We're in studio right now. We're live. Typically, we're live on radio on KDON in Vegas, but LA Dodgers are playing ball tonight, so they bumped us. Big deal. We're on the streams, Odyssey app, iHeartMedia app, TuneIn app, the SteveSanchezShow.com website. We got our own Listen Live player. And, of course, we are live here for a bit on the socials. So if you want to continue to hang out with us for the remaining of the show, which is about another 90 minutes, all you have to do is jump to one of those platforms. Again, iHeart, Odyssey, TuneIn apps, boom, we're live. You can still be part of the program. Or the link up in the bio, the SteveSanchezShow.com. That's the website. Click that. You'll see the Listen Live player, and you can hang out with us for the other 90 minutes. We've got a great show still planned for you. We do appreciate those that have hung out so far. Have a good weekend. Peace.